Hello my friends. Today I'm going to show you something very easy that you can do to make little snacks or a light lunch or something even for your kids to take to school that they will enjoy very much. So it's something similar with cinnamon rolls, but it's salty and it has cheese. So it's like pizza rolls but without the sauce. I'm gonna start with the dough, and which is not a sweet dough, and I'll show you how to create this delicious cheese roll. I have 420 grams of flour over here, and they amount to about 3 cups of flour, which is not packed. I have a teaspoon of yeast, dry yeast, and half a teaspoon of sugar, which I'm gonna put in my bowl here. 60 millis, which is a quarter of a cup, and 2 teaspoons of oil, vegetable oil, and 6 ounces of warm liquid, which is half milk and half water. And the ratios can play a little bit, but that's what I have. So I have 3 ounces of milk, 3 ounces of warm water. Now I'm gonna put the water onto the yeast and the sugar. I will also add the milk, and I will add to that a half a teaspoon or even quarter of a teaspoon, depending on the cheese you're gonna use. If you're gonna choose salty cheese, use a little less salt in the dough. If you're using mild cheese, then you can go up to half a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna use some feta today. Feta tend to be salty, so I'm gonna use quarter of a teaspoon of salt. I will also add my oil. Just mix a little bit. And now into this, I'm gonna add the flour. I will add most of it at once, and then I'll leave very little at the end. Very little, because I have tested this recipe and I know that it's gonna take the flour, but I always try to keep about 2 to 3 tablespoons of flour, just in case I don't need it, because you want your dough to be mold, not to be too dry, so you can mold it really nicely. Okay, at this point I'm gonna use my fingers. It doesn't need too much kneading. Make sure you wet all the flour with the liquids that you have added. And then I'm gonna drop it onto my board, which is gonna give me a little bit more space to knead the dough. And if you feel that it's too dry, you can also add a tiny bit of water and do this motion. Just do this for about 5 minutes, just moving it around just like this. Not even 5 minutes, 3 minutes. Now this will need to rest covered in a warm place until it rises. It's gonna rise about 50%, so it's gonna be 1.5 times this size. Okay, so for the sake of the video and to get it going, I have already done the dough, and it has risen. So I have it right here. We'll open it in a minute. Let me talk about the filling. The filling today I chose some Monterey and cheddar cheese that is shredded. I also got some crumbled feta. You can use also regular feta and crumble it yourself. Just mix it together so it's ready to put it over the dough when we're ready for that. I also have some oregano that I'm gonna sprinkle on top of the cheese. I have chopped some pitted Kalamata olives. If you don't have that, just buy a tapenade and you can spread that over and add the cheese and roll it. So here's the dough. It's very fluffy, airy, as you see. And because of the content of the oil, it's very easy to open and it doesn't bounce back, and it also doesn't stick a lot. Here we go. We have a rectangular here. Onto this, I will first put the cheese. And I like a lot of cheese, but you make it the way you like it. Just spread it evenly. Into this, I will sprinkle oregano. I will also put some olives. And as you see, I just fold and roll. Just like that. And when you get to the end, try to pinch the dough for it to seal. Just like that. Now I have the log, which I'm gonna cut to slices, and each slice is gonna be about 1 inch thick. Okay, now that we cut them into slices, just place every one on a prepared pan with a parchment paper. Now I will take my hand and cup each one and squeeze it a little bit down like that. Just like that. And we'll let those sit for 15 minutes to rest, and then I'll show you what I brush them with, and then we'll bake them. I have some plain yogurt here that I'm gonna brush the surface with that, and that will give them shine, and it's gonna glue them a little bit. Glue the things together so they don't go all over the place. Now they're ready to go to the oven. I'll bake them until they are golden and looking great. About 15 minutes or so. I'll let you know as soon as I get them out. Okay, so it took about 23 minutes, so in your oven between 20 to 25 depending. They just came out of the oven. They are soft and filled with all the goodies inside. The dough is really soft and delicious. The flavor is great. They're supposed to stay as tasty cold as they are hot or warm. That's why they are a great snack and great lunch to be taken to school for your kids. So try them and let me know what you think. Please let me know things that you wish to learn, recipes that you wish me to provide for you. And if you have any other questions about ingredients and techniques, just post them on my channel, and I will be more than happy to answer all your needs.